Hello, our most developed student. My name is Confident and welcome to our 24-minute lesson. This is the ultimate guide in maths, science, career guidance, as well as a sneak peek in my personal experiences. This is a channel that is designed with you in mind. Let us dive into today's lesson. In this video, we are doing one of the most important that will take you to your grade 12 with good marks is the simultaneous equations. And I just want you to be careful when you're solving this. And you did them in grade 10, but those were mild. These are the ultimate. Your simultaneous equation for grade 11 and 12. Look at this, it's 6 marks. So this topic is actually important even for someone who's doing grade 11 because it's still relevant. In grade 12, you don't learn about this. They just examine you. So if you are working on it, let's look at this. For you guys who are doing your grade 11, it is going to be very beneficial because you'll take it to grade 12. You'll just be given questions like this. So how do you approach this? My grade 11. My grade 11. You know, I've got a soft spot for grade 11s. Look at this. Question 6.1. Okay. Let's look at the first one. It says what? We are given, the first one, it says x squared plus 2xy, I'll take my time for now, is equal to 3y squared. Are you with me? Then we call that equation 1. Then you do the next one, 2y minus x is equal to 6, and then you call that equation 2. So always know, whenever they're giving you such simultaneous equations, one will be an easier version, the other one will be kind of a complicated. So it's your duty to find out which one is easier of the two. Obviously, equation 1 is complicated because it's got the x squared, the xy, and the y squared. This is complicated. You can't say this is easy, it's complicated. The easier one is equation number 2. As you can see, 2y minus x is equal to 6. From here, you make either x or y the subject. Make one of them subject of formula. Subject of formula, the easier one. Just make it the subject of the formula. And from your side, you are saying, look at it, I've got 2y, but I've got x. So which means it's easy for me to make x the subject. How can I do that? I can take negative x to jump, go this side. From negative, it becomes positive. And then I can take 6 to come this side. From positive, it will become negative. So what will be my answer? My answer now will be 2y minus 6, remember it came that side, is equal to x. Right, this is actually now my equation 3. So it was good for me to come with my equation 3. If I rearrange in a way, it's like x, or rewrite it, x is equal to 2y minus 6. Remember, it's my equation 3. Very important equation 3. Then you are going to take this equation 3, you are going to say equation 3 into equation 2. So what are you saying? You take equation 2, which is x squared, let's bring it in, x squared plus 2 what? Plus what? Plus 2xy is equal to what? 3y squared. Are you with me? So that's what we have. So it's x squared plus 2xy is equal to 3y squared. But don't forget, we know what is x. Wherever we have x, that's what we're going to put. So you come here, you're going to put it there, and you're going to put it there. That's it. But look how you put it. So what you say is x squared. What do you have? You put a bracket. X is now 2y minus 6 squared. See that? Plus 2, start with y, so that the bracket is after this 2. You see that? Don't say 2, don't do it like this. You say 2x, you say 2y minus 6, and then you write y after. It will just confuse you. What you need to do, you simply say what? 2y, just say 2y here, and then you put a bracket, x become what? 2y minus 6. Are you getting that? Then that becomes 3y squared. That's the ultimate. Now there comes what most of you always get confused. That's what you do. Because of that square, you're going to say 2y squared minus 6 squared. That's wrong. That's not 2y squared. That's what most of you will say. Minus 6 squared. Then you continue. That's not that. Remember what it means. It means if you can avoid that, then you'll be fine. This means 2y minus 6 and another bracket 2y minus 6. It's a square, meaning there are two of them. If you can solve that, then you're good to go. And then plus 2y, will expand once. 2y minus 6 is equal to 3y squared. Once you get that, you are good to go. And then let's continue. Open the bracket. You know the FOIL method. 2y times that, 2y times that, this times this, this times this. So let's start it. 2y times 2y, it's 4y squared. 2y times negative 6 is negative 12. And negative 12y. Negative 6 times 2, it will always be same, negative 12y. Negative 6 times negative 6 is plus 36. Plus, do the same thing, 2y times 2y, 2y times negative 6. So what do I have? 2y times 2y is plus 4y squared. 2y times 2 is negative 12y is equal to 3y squared. Then from there, you collect what we say the like terms. The 3y squared, so let's start from here to say I've got y squared, I've got y squared, I've got y squared. I always do that so that I make sure that everything, I didn't forget anything. So it will be 4y squared plus 4y squared. Now look at this, 3y will come this side negative now. Some forget to change to positive to negative. Then after that I've got that, minus 12y minus 12y, and then I've got that minus 12y. Then after that I've got the last one, plus 36 equal to 0. You check the one that is not yet underlined, nothing. Now 4 plus 4, remember I'm dealing with y squared, y squared, y squared. Take a calculator, you say 4 plus 4 minus 3. 4 plus 4 is 8. 8 minus 3, it's 5. 5y squared. Then minus 12 minus 12, minus 24 minus this, minus 36y. Plus 36 is equal to 0. Because this is same as saying 12 times 3. Then what you do? You can factorize the normal way we did this, but avoid this waste time. Go straight into the quadratic formula. Remember the quadratic formula. This is your A, that's your B, that's your C. So your B is that, your A is 5, so you can actually tell yourself to say A here is 5, B is negative 36, and C is 36. So that you got X is equal to minus bracket minus B. I'm just gonna write it now, minus 36 plus or minus square root of negative B squared, which is negative 36 squared, minus 4A is 5 and C is 36 all over 2 and A is 5. Then you give two values of X, and now not X, be careful. What are we calculating? We are not calculating X, we are calculating Y. So don't say X because you are here to find X, so be careful to use the Y that you are calculating. Then when you use your calculator there, you are going to come here and say negative 36 close plus square root of bracket negative 36 squared Why am I getting this? 36 squared. Alright, minus 4a is 5, c is 36 all over 2, and then they usually give you something calculated. They won't give you something funny. Look, x is equal to 6, you see? Just even numbers you'll get. X is equal to 6, y is equal to 6, and y is equal to 6 over 5. So y is equal to 6, or y is equal to 6 over 5. These are, most of the time, the answers are not that complicated. Then when you've done that, check. Come back to say, I got two values of y, right? But don't forget, we said what? Y, do this. To say y is equal to 6, and then y is equal to 6 over 5. Now you come back to equation 3. We said x is 2y minus 6. You need that one. So you're like x is equal to 2y minus 6. Even here you write the same. X is equal to 2y minus 6. It will give us two answers. So when y is 6, so you've got x is equal to 2 bracket 6 minus 6. So x is equal to, now if you say 2 times 6 is 12, 12 minus 6 is 6. You can leave it like that or put it in coordinates. When x is 6, y is 6. That's what it means. You do the next one. X is equal to 6 over 5. 6 over 5 minus 6. So what is x? I have to rely on the calculator for that. So it's 2 bracket 6 over 5. Alright, minus 6. It gives what? Minus 18 over 5. You can press ST if you want, or that, but it's minus 18 over 5. So you can write it also like this. X is negative 18 over 5 and y is 6 over 5. You can leave your answer like this or like that. Whatever case, you get the answer. That's how you solve it. But do you just move on and say, I'm correct, I'm not going to test it? No. Don't be overconfident. Come back to the answers. For example, x is 6, y is 6. Test it on both. Let's try that. You definitely need to test. Always test your answers. So let's start this one. You do the left hand side and the right hand side. So x is 6 squared plus 2. This one is not a problem. Everything was 6. 2, 6, 6. Right. Let's check the answer now. My left hand side is 108. Let's check the right hand side. If it's 108, we are good. So 3 bracket 6 squared, y is 6, is equal to 108. You see, left hand side 108, right hand side 108, because it was only 1. 8 balances. We can try the smaller one. 2y, which is 2, 6, minus x minus 6. It must give me 6. That one is fine. Always test it. The other answer was negative 18 over 5 and for x. So you say bracket negative 18 over 5, if I'm not mistaken, squared plus 2 bracket negative 18 over 5, right? And then bracket, it was what? 6 over 5. Why? You just take those two answers. Equal to, it's negative 108 over 5. That's my what? Left hand side. 3 bracket y is 6 over 5, to see if I'm getting 108 over 5. Am I right? Squared. Why am I getting something different? Let's start again. My x was equal to bracket negative what? 18 over 5, and it was squared plus 2 bracket negative 18 over 5, ne? That's what I said, 18 over 5. I got something different there. And then y was what? Y was 8 over 5. 6 over 5. Okay, it's 108 over 25. Yes, that's what I got also. 3 bracket 6 over 5 squared. I think it was 108 over 25. You see, left hand side, right hand side. Guys, that's how you do it. Let's try the next one. You must always be careful of mistakes. The next one, it says what? Let's look at this one. It says you're supposed to solve for x. You have got 2y plus x is equal to 1. Then they say that was equation 1. And then you've got x squared plus y squared plus 3xy plus y equal to 0. I told you the complicated one is the one that you have to look at it later. Look for the simpler one, and you can see that's a simpler equation. And look for the one that does not have any number. If it has a number, it's fine. You can divide, like here you can divide by 2 each one. You see, you divide individual. You can make y the subject, but why deal with fractions when you can simply take y to the other side? When you take y to the other side, what will I have? On that equation, I will have x is equal to 1 minus 2y. Do you see where is my equation 3? There is my equation 3. You can write it like this: x is equal to minus 2y plus 1 as equation 3 is fine. But I still can maintain it like that. I'm fine with this. Then from there, 3 what? Into 2. So wherever, look at this, wherever there is this, you put that. That is the x. Even here, you put that. Do you see that is a repetition of what we just did? I'll encourage you, work it out for me. Tell me how you are solving it. Go all the way, get x and the y value. So you pause the video, work it all the way, and come in. Let's compare the answers. When it's like that, so what do I have? I will have, look at this bracket, 1 minus 2y. I told you if it's squared, it's the same as saying 1 minus 2y, 1 minus 2y. Don't forget that. Plus y squared plus 3, 1 minus 2y. But I say don't write it like that. You need to what? You need to do it like this. Move a bit and put y instead here. Alright. Plus y equal to 0. So guys, that's how you solve it. You multiply this, multiply the first and the last, this goes there. The FOIL method, that goes there, that, and here this one goes there. You just have to be careful there. 1 times 1, it's 1. 1 times negative 2 is negative 2y. Again, 2y times that is negative 2y. 2 times 2 is negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 4y squared. Done there. Plus y squared. 3y times 1 plus 3y. This times this, negative 6y squared. Don't forget. Plus 1 is equal to what? Is equal to 0. Collect like terms. When you're collecting like terms, start with the squared. So we'll have 4y squared plus y squared minus 6y squared. And then after that, I can now think for y, and y. So it's always good to mark this so that you don't lose anything. So I've got minus 2y, and then plus 3y plus y. Then after that, I've got 1, and that's it, because I marked. Alright, so that is it. Plus 1 equal to 0. Then 4 plus, there is a 1 there, 4 plus 1 is what? 5. 5 minus 6 is minus 1 y squared. You can use a calculator to say 4 plus 1 minus 6, and then minus 2 is minus 4. Now minus 4 plus 3 is minus 1. So there is 0.
plus 1 is equal to 0. Okay, that is that. Okay, it was simplifying way easier than I thought. So what we have here, we have got negative 1y squared, which is same as negative y squared, plus 1 is equal to 0. Take 1 to the other side. So negative y squared is equal to negative 1. Are you seeing that? It simplifies, divide by negative 1 on both sides, so that you've got y squared is equal to 1. How do you get the answer to become y? So you square root both sides. But don't forget, when you square root, let me do it the other side. You square root y squared is equal to, then say plus or minus square root of 1. So y is equal to plus or minus 1. Are you seeing that? Then when you've done that, you come back here and say, okay, I've got two answers. Y is equal to 1 and y is equal to negative 1. Look for equation 3 is the one. What was equation 3? X is equal to 1 minus 2y. X is equal to 1 minus 2y, and again x is equal to 1 minus 2y. Now when x is 1 and y is 1, 1 minus 2, 1. So what is x? X is equal to 1 minus 2. It's negative 1. Coordinates, x is negative 1, y is 1. That's how you write it. And then even here, x is equal to 1 minus 2 minus 1. X is equal to 1 plus 2, and x is equal to 3. We can write it in coordinate form if you want. When x is 3, start with x, y is negative 1. So these are the coordinates that you can test now. Minus 1 and 1, let's start here to say minus 1 and 1, or what? 3 negative 1. Alright, so let's start with the first one. It's very important to test, as I said. Let's start with the first one. X is negative 1. Bracket negative 1 squared. And then plus 1 squared. And then plus 3. Bracket negative 1. Bracket 1. Plus 1. It must give me 0. There I'm getting a 0. Are you seeing that? You do the other one. X is 3 squared. I'm testing now. Plus y is negative 1 squared. And then plus 3. X is 3. Y is negative 1. Are you doing that? Plus bracket negative 1. You just have to test 0. It's correct. So guys, that's how you do it. And it's up to you to practice. And they're catching you on errors mainly. Now, you try this one. This is your homework. This is your homework. I'm not going to do this one for you. It's your homework. Okay, try it for me. 6 marks, guys. You don't want to lose these 6 marks. And it's a little bit complicated, but there's the hint. Look at equation. That equation 1. X is easier. Take everything that side. Then after that, substitute, solve, test. Don't forget, you need to test your answers. Now, let's communicate. What do you have? I told you I've got Instagram now. Instagram, where I can connect with you. If you're struggling, we can talk about this one. And in Instagram, my Insta handle is Configwazi. This is where we can communicate. Work it out, put it on a piece of paper. So what you do is you work out, let's say this is your paper, you work it out, 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 take a picture, send it to me on the Instagram here. I look at it, then what do? I check. If you did well, I mark. I also send you a picture, then you check. Or I can even do a remedial video here, or you can even suggest a question. Maybe you came across a question that you want me to address, similar, it must be relevant, and then we talk from there. So that is how this whole channel is. It's made with you in mind. I'm here for you guys. That's why I say if you're subscribed, you won't miss out on the lessons. So for now, we've come to the end of our lesson. Don't forget my homework. You need to give me feedback. If you guys are not giving me feedback, well, it's up to you. But this is what I wanted to say. Have the homework, work on it, and let's communicate. We've come to the end of our lesson for this session. And as we're continuing with your grade 11 work, the next part that we have to be looking at is this one, trigonometry, where we're going to look at the reduction formula, trig equations, and the general solution. It's a very interesting part, but keep following the channel so that you don't remain behind. We've come to the end of our lesson. Thank you.